Hi. So, in keeping with more information regarding Sandy Hook and things that do not go together, I put a disclaimer out that this is not for harassment purposes, merely to investigate the information that was presented, or more so, which hasn't been presented. All the links will be in the description box to all the forthcoming information. First, I want you to listen to this clip taken immediately after the events of December the 14th, 2012, from Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting.
It's a mystery, and all the reporters been asking around if anybody knows them on the block, and nobody knows them, which is odd for this neighborhood.
Another disaster.
Former babysitter remembers the young boy as intelligent but withdrawn.
I also remember that his mom, Nancy, had always...
Okay, so let's note the name. I have these captions up. Ryan Kraft. This is a former babysitter. This is going to be where I'm going with this clip. There are so many inconsistencies, and this is just one.
had always instructed me to keep an eye on him at all times and never turn my back or even go to the bathroom or anything like that.
So we just established that this is someone who was a former babysitter, who had direct contact with mom, who told him to never turn her back. We are establishing a character reference for Adam at this point.
Just like another piece to the puzzle.
And that's all I'm going to show you for that part. Now, remember, it said Ryan Kraft. So let's go in to see who this Ryan Kraft may be. When you go into the voter registration and you go down and you look for Kraft, you'll see for the Connecticut registry, you're going to have numerous Krafts. It's in alphabetical order, and in searching for Ryan, you don't find one. You'll notice that there is a listing for all of the counties as well, okay? And I'm just giving you the platform so that you can go and that you can learn how to research some of this as well, because there are lots of names that are associated with this event. And I have to kind of laugh because I get all kind of comments. Mostly you guys leave me great comments, but some people are just like, just make your point, just tell me what it is. You want somebody to just tell you what it is you should believe in. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the information and you discern what it is. I'll be happy to tell you what my opinion is too, but I'm not going to tell you what you should believe. So here's Weston, Hamden, all the different areas, because you'll see when you go through here that you're not going to find a Brian. Mind you, it's probably good to note that this document is actually, listed as a verifiable document. Here's a Sandy Hook. These are the ones that we want to pay more particular close attention to. Okay, here's a Sandy Hook one here. You see, this is Christopher James Kraft. Okay, now I actually hadn't found that one before. I'm going to go down to the other one, which I did look at before. Here's a Darla Kraft for a Sandy Hook as well. And we come down, where do we see? Because I I was looking for Ryan. You know, I was looking for Ryan. Of course, I didn't find a Ryan. And so there's 2 above. And there are a lot of crafts here, as you can see. I'm just going through to show you. And I'm doing this for documentation purposes too, because as of the other day, whenever I posted the last information regarding Tingley, miraculously additional information popped up on Google Images that was not present prior. So I found that to be very interesting. So where do we see that? Well, I didn't find a Ryan, okay, but I do see a Robert that was also in Sandy Hook. And I'm going to go and show you from there. And those are the 3. You see it goes down more. I'm just showing you what there is. Almost done. Okay. So, as far as Sandy Hook, we have here, Robert. So let's just go to the detail page. Well, it looks like, and we know from prior information, that the Lanzas lived on Yogananda. I think it was 37, was it, or 36? So this is saying that Robert A. Kraft, 1957. Well, that guy is a little bit younger than that, right? So, interesting. But here we have a tangible person that is at his neighbor, who that clip you've seen showed he was the babysitter, right? He used to babysit. Of course, it had to be some time before, because Adam was 20, so it wasn't like he was just babysitting, you know, a couple years earlier. And it shows his address. It shows his address at 32 Yogananda Street, and it shows you what his voting history is. So from 98 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. And that was that. Now, if we go back, and only because I did not do this earlier when I emailed myself this information, just impromptu, I'd like to see where else these, because there was one that was younger, and it would seemingly be them. Now, you know, of course, it could be that the news just wants to maybe conceal someone's identity for, you know, purposes. However, I'm not a newscaster, so I don't know what their parameter is for disclosing information and so forth. If they ask people if they would rather be anonymous or they want to use a different name. Again, this is not to single anyone out, for anyone to harass anyone. There's no productivity in that. Now, this is someone who, 1961, this birth date is going to be, just let's go to the detail page, Sandy Hook, and see. Oh, well, looky here. Looks like Darla is at the same address, the 32 Yogananda. And she was registered the same and has a very similar history of voting. Okay, so we're establishing that this is probably like a family unit here. Darla. I hate this thing that pops up. I just don't know how to get it off my screen. And then there was one more. Wasn't there another one? Here we are. And this seems like 1989. This might be the person who Ryan. Yeah, did it say Ryan? I forget right now. I just said that. But Christopher, let's see. And oh, looky, he also lives at 32 Yogananda. So it seems like we would have a family unit living here by the last name of Kraft. And should we go back and should we go back and listen to that one more time? Let's see. I'm just having to drive this home so you can see where I'm coming from.
For this neighborhood.
Another disaster.
Former babysitter remembers the young boy as intelligent but withdrawn.
I also remember that his mom Nancy had always instructed me to keep an eye on him at all times and never turn my back or even go to the bathroom or anything like that.
Just like another piece.
Oh, okay. So that was the neighbor. Seems like, they just maybe fudged on the name there. Okay, so yeah, Kraft. So let's go and see the home. But first, before I go that, just keep that name. When we're looking fresh from the articles that were written in CBS, take it for what it's worth. This is an interesting article. Speaks about how Adam was it's disinformation in here because it talks about, other different things too, about maybe mom being his teacher and so forth, how he killed his mom. But the thing that I kind of focused in on this article, for all intents and purposes of where I'm going at in relation to the babysitter, a physical person who gave testimony that he was talked to the mom and babysat Adam, okay? Where this ties in is another neighbor, another neighbor who's talking in this about how Sandeep Kapur. Now remember this name because these two names are very important. Who lives 2 doors down from the Lanza family in Newtown, said he did not know them and was unaware of any disturbances at the Lanza house in the 3 years that he and his family have been in the neighborhood. Okay? Sandeep. We'll talk more about Sandeep. Who is Sandeep? Let's see, Sandeep. Sandeep Kapur is an previously IBM Global Technology Services. Manufacturer, authentication, secure cloud storage, Office 365, and email security. Boy, those seem like really important kind of qualities to have for Yale. December 2014 to present is where he's working now. 3 years, 1 month. Okay. Let's also go on to see another article written right after that time, who also, quotes. This gives a little bit of a different edge, talks about how he was estranged from his father, because, they're kind of like building up the picture, the image. They talk a little bit about Peter Lanza being an executive with GE. And they also go into discussing, again, and they talk also about this German class that he had here. This Sandeep Kapur, 41, a project manager and father of 2 who has lived 2 doors down from Nancy and Adam for the last 3 years. He said he had seen them on the street but did not know them. He had not heard of any arguments recently, no raised voices or loud noises. Even Friday morning, when police say Lanza shot his mother, believe it was 5 times, and the house is 200 feet away, and he says he never heard anything. Where am I getting at with this? Well, let's take a look when we go on to the property listings for 32 Yogananda Street, which we've already classified and clarified. 32 Yogananda Street, Sandy Hook, where the Kraft family lives, right? This is where the Kraft family lives. But let's see who the owners are. Well, geez, that's interesting. It says here that the owners are Sandeep Kapur. Now, how could that be? How could that be? Did they buy it from them? Is there, maybe they're both listed on here for some reason? Let's see. No. Seems like Kapur, Sandeep, and Majur purchased, sale date 11/25/09. And then there was some other transaction. Was it a name change, perhaps? Missing one digit, one letter there, on 3/18/2011. And that is and I did this earlier, I created this report just a little bit ago when I was at work. That is the latest sale date. This was updated in 2015. We can see by the record of voter registration, this subsequently is 2013 and 2014. So we have identification of a person who is by the name of Sandeep Kapur in two different articles. Okay? From CBS and from the LA Times, who are quoting him as being the neighbor 2 doors down. And we have this very interesting fellow here with a little slightly off name who claims to have been the babysitter, who a last name of that person does exist in the voter log at 32 Yogananda. So, you see, there is something in here, much like a lot of the other things that I've pointed out in the most recent videos, with names and with the information given, facts, with the factual information given, that even, I mean, I appreciate those who have reached out to explain to me who they have known in person, and I do not want to call anyone when I don't know, and I'm just getting secondhand information. I don't want to call anyone a liar who, especially, you've been kind, you reach out, you explain things. And I do believe people believe what it is they've been more or less brainwashed to believe. I do believe real emotions are had. And I'm not saying that, again, and I'll keep reemphasizing this, I'm not saying that there weren't any lives spent that day. What I'm saying is that I know that the information that was presented is not accurate. And there's so much discrepancy, even in the faces like Kraft. Why would there be, am I just something, I don't want to say someone's lying, but is he lying? Is the official record lying? Are these documents lying? Who owns the house? Because both of those families didn't live there. They aren't registered anywhere on the vote to vote. They're not. Are these people fictitious people? I don't know. I don't think that they are, because they're obviously real people. Look, because he has something online. It would be so fantastically easy for someone to fabricate an existence of someone. It would be so easy to do that digitally. It really would be. So, with all due respect to everyone who is trying to say everything has been exactly the way it's been presented, I beg to differ. Because these facts are in complete contrast, and much like Mr. Tingley and that information that came through, you're talking about a differential of a middle initial and a few months of a birth date, and one person who very much so could just be seemingly been fabricated online, and another one who has a obvious physical presence. This person obviously has a physical presence. This is a little bit different. This person has a physical presence here because we can see him. This is someone who's, of course, the name is a little bit off. Okay, grant you. This is a person who has a physical presence because you can follow them through. There's other things that have been established online. You can see this. You know, they've obviously given interviews. They're documented. So where's the conflict? There is one. There absolutely is one. And I think it's an important one. I think it's important because you have two different people vouching. Could they both be inaccurately quoting things? And then why? And then who would be orchestrating that? Why would this person talk about babysitting if he didn't babysit? Why would he be talking about being, why would he be listed as the neighbor if Sandeep is actually the neighbor? Because according to records, Sandeep is still at the house. He's still there. They haven't sold it again. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that information. And please do leave your comments in the suggestion box. And everyone have a great night. Bye.